My friend, what if I told you that the most potent, the most sacred, the most profoundly creative act of your entire day is not found in the hustle and bustle of your waking hours, not in the sweat of your brow, nor the striving of your hands? What if I revealed to you that the very key to unlocking your deepest desires, to etching your fondest dreams onto the tablet of reality, lies nestled within the gentle, irresistible current that carries you each night from consciousness into the deep and fertile garden of sleep? This is not a mere suggestion, my dear listener. This is not a quaint spiritual aphorism. This is the divine law itself, unveiled, a law so ancient, so unfailing, so utterly majestic, that once understood and consciously applied, it will transform the very fabric of your existence. It will shift your world from a battleground of chance and circumstance into a magnificent canvas upon which you, the divine artist, may paint your destiny with strokes of pure, imaginative feeling. Do you truly understand the immense power of that nightly journey? Do you grasp the profound significance of that fleeting moment when the conscious mind begins to surrender, when the body softens, when the very gates of your subconscious, the creative matrix of all things, swing gently open to receive your final, whispered command? For it is in this sacred interlude, this hallowed threshold between the seen and the unseen, that the true work of creation is performed. It is here, in the quietude before the veil of slumber descends, that you hold the universe in your hands, ready to mold it into the exquisite shape of your heart's desire. And yet, how many of us squander this divine opportunity, allowing anxieties, fears, or the lingering shadows of the day to be the last impressions etched upon the receptive canvas of the mind? How many of us drift into sleep, bearing the burden of what was, rather than the joyous anticipation of what will be? This must change. It will change for you tonight as you begin to reclaim this divine inheritance. We have been taught, have we not, to chase after shadows in the external world. We have been conditioned to believe that our happiness, our success, our very worth depends upon the fickle whims of outer circumstances, upon the approval of others, upon the laborious manipulation of events in the physical realm. We strive and we strain, pushing against the current of life, attempting to force outcomes, believing that if we just do enough, work hard enough, worry enough, then, and only then, will our desires manifest. We look to the outside, perpetually seeking, perpetually demanding, endlessly adjusting the mirror itself, believing the reflection is the source of our distress or our delight. We wake up and immediately our minds grasp at the problems, the perceived lacks, the unfulfilled ambitions. We spend our days reacting to the news, to the economy, to the opinions of others, to the seemingly solid, unyielding facts of our physical environment. And when night falls, exhausted by this endless struggle, we often carry the very same mental burdens into our beds. We lie down, replaying the day's disappointments, rehearsing tomorrow's potential failures, allowing the worries of yesterday and the anxieties of tomorrow to be the last guests in the temple of our minds. We surrender to sleep, not as a conscious, creative act, but as an escape, a temporary oblivion from the relentless pressures of the waking world. We view it as a passive cessation of effort, a necessary pause before resuming the struggle. This, my friend, is the false path. This is the illusion that keeps humanity bound to a cycle of reaction and limitation. It is the belief that the effect is the cause, that the outer world dictates the inner, rather than the other way around. It is the profound misconception that our conscious, analytical mind, with all its limitations and doubts, is the primary architect of our reality, rather than a mere interpreter of the deeper, vaster creative power that resides within. And so, we manifest more struggle, more effort, more lack. For the subconscious mind, ever obedient, ever receptive, simply takes whatever impression we offer it with feeling, especially in that delicate moment before sleep, and faithfully reproduces it as fact in our waking experience. It does not judge. It only brings forth what has been impressed upon it. You have been, unknowingly, planting seeds of limitation in the most fertile soil of your being just before the dawn of creation. But now you shall know the truth. Now you shall reclaim your divine authorship. The revelation, my dear friend, is startling in its simplicity, yet infinite in its power. It is this: imagination is God. Not a god, but the God. The very creative power of the universe residing within you, as you, your awareness, your I am, is the divine spark, and your imagination is its living, breathing instrument of creation. The outer world, this tangible, seemingly solid reality you perceive, is but a mirrored reflection, an externalized manifestation of the inner activity of your imagination. It is a dream made visible. It is the shadow cast by the light of your inner state, what you consistently hold in feeling within, especially when the conscious mind is quiescent, must, by immutable law, externalize itself in your world. And the most potent moment for this creative act, this divine communion, this profound planting of the seed, is in the sacred transition from waking consciousness to the state of sleep. Why? Because the subconscious mind, which is the universal creative medium, does not reason. It does not question. It simply receives an impression, a feeling, a state of being, and then sets about to bring that state into objective reality. When you enter that drowsy, languid state, when the analytical mind begins to recede, when the senses are dulled and the world outside grows dim, your subconscious becomes profoundly receptive. It is like the rich, dark earth, ready to receive whatever seed you choose to plant within it. If you plant seeds of worry, fear, or lack, it will dutifully grow them. But if you plant seeds of joy, fulfillment, abundance, and love, those too will sprout and blossom in your waking life. Sleep, then, is not merely a cessation of effort. It is not an escape. It is the forge of reality. It is the vital interval in which the impressions of your conscious day, or more importantly, the impressions you consciously choose to impart, are transformed into objective fact. The entire vast creative power of the universe gathers itself to bring forth the state you assume as you fall asleep. Your waking world is but the mirrored reflection of your drowsing imagination. Your daily experiences are but the inevitable unfolding of the seeds you have sown in the fertile garden of your mind, particularly in those precious, potent moments before you cross the threshold into the deep. This is the law. This is the truth, and once you accept it, once you truly feel its resonance, you become the conscious architect of your destiny. You become the master of your fate, no longer tossed about by the winds of chance, but steering your ship with sure, knowing hands, guided by the silent, powerful wisdom of your indwelling God. Let me share with you a testament to this truth, a simple story of transformation that illustrates the profound power of this nightly ritual. There was once a young woman, let us call her Sarah, who found herself trapped in a cycle of financial struggle and profound self-doubt. Her days were filled with anxiety, her nights with restless sleep, haunted by the specter of bills she couldn't pay and a future that seemed bleak and unyielding. She had heard of this law of assumption, but it felt like a distant philosophy, something for others, not for her. One day, at the depths of her despair, she decided to truly commit to this teaching. She chose a simple D. To receive a substantial, unexpected sum of money that would alleviate her immediate burdens and allow her a sense of ease. But more than the money itself, she yearned for the feeling of relief, of security, of freedom from the crushing weight of her circumstances. That night, as she lay in bed, she began her experiment. Instead of replaying her worries, she consciously shifted her attention. She didn't try to imagine how the money would come. That was the domain of the infinite. Her task was simply to assume the feeling of having received it. She imagined herself holding a bank statement, seeing the new, abundant balance. But it wasn't just visual. She focused on the sensation in her body. She felt the knot in her stomach unravel, the tension in her shoulders release. She imagined a warmth spreading through her chest, a profound sense of gratitude and immense relief washing over her. She conjured the scene of telling a close friend, not with words, but with the inner knowing, the quiet joy of a burden lifted. She didn't try to force the feeling. She simply lingered in it, allowing it to envelop her like a soft, warm blanket. She let the scene play out again and again in her mind, not as a forced visualization, but as a gentle, repetitive lullaby of fulfillment. Each time a doubt would creep in, she would gently guide her attention back to the feeling of relief, back to the inner experience of having her desire fulfilled. She felt herself drift, feeling the scene, feeling the relief, feeling the gratitude, until she slipped into the blessed state of sleep. She repeated this ritual every night for a week. Sometimes the feeling was strong and vivid. Other nights it was faint, a mere whisper. But she persisted, knowing that the quality of the seed was in the feeling, not necessarily the intensity of the image. On the 8th day, a letter arrived. It was from a distant relative she barely knew, informing her that a small, unexpected inheritance had been settled, an amount almost precisely what she had envisioned, enough to clear her debts and leave her with a comfortable surplus. It was utterly unexpected, seemingly from outside her immediate world, yet it perfectly mirrored the state she had assumed within. Sarah's world shifted not just financially, but entirely. She understood with an undeniable clarity that the outer world was indeed a faithful servant to the inner state. She learned that the greatest work is done not through frantic outer striving, but through the calm, focused, imaginative assumption of the wish fulfilled, especially in the sacred moments before sleep. She had planted a seed of relief and abundance in the fertile darkness of her subconscious, and reality had, with perfect fidelity, brought forth its fruit. This is not a tale of magic, my friend. This is the simple, immutable operation of the law, and it is available to you, just as it was to Sarah. Now, let us turn to the practical application, the sacred ritual, the conscious method of doing this before sleep. This is not a mere technique. It is an act of spiritual communion, a deliberate co-creation with the infinite power that resides within you. Step 1. Prepare the temple of your being. As the day begins to wane and the shadows lengthen, begin to withdraw your attention from the outer world. Before you even lie down, find a moment, perhaps in a quiet chair, to release the day's concerns. Let go of the battles fought, the worries accumulated, the frustrations encountered. Forgive yourself for any perceived shortcomings and forgive others for theirs. Remember, you are preparing the soil. You would not plant a precious seed in ground choked with weeds and stones. When you finally lie in your bed, ensure your body is comfortable. Allow your muscles to relax. Take a few deep, slow breaths, allowing each exhalation to release any lingering tension. Close your eyes gently. This is not a time for mental effort or straining, but for a gentle, loving. Surrender. Cultivate a feeling of peace, of gratitude for the day that has passed, regardless of its seeming events. Allow your mind to quiet like still waters. This initial state of calm, of inner silence, is paramount. Step 2. Construct the sacred scene, the wish fulfilled. Now, and this is crucial, do not try to imagine how your desire will manifest. Do not concern yourself with the means, the steps, the bridge of incidents. That is the function of the law. Your function is simply to feel the end. Choose one specific desire, one wish that resonates deeply with your heart. Then, imagine a brief, vivid scene that implies the fulfillment of that desire. It must be a scene that you would naturally experience after your wish has come true. For example, if your desire is for financial abundance, do not imagine money falling from the sky. Instead, imagine something simple and natural. Receiving a notification on your phone of a large deposit, opening a bill and seeing a zero balance, buying something you desired without a moment's hesitation, or feeling the weight of a wallet thick with bills. If it is a loving relationship, imagine the feel of your beloved's hand in yours, the sound of their voice saying, "I love you," or the warmth of their embrace. If it is perfect health, feel the vigor in your body, the ease of movement, the joy of a healthy activity you can now perform. Crucially, this scene must involve you. You must be experiencing it, feeling it from the first-person perspective. It is not a movie you watch, it is a reality you inhabit. Engage all your senses. What do you see, hear, touch, smell, taste in this fulfilled reality? Most importantly, what do you feel? Step 3. Enter the drowsy state and impregnate with feeling. As you hold this scene in your imagination, allow yourself to drift into that wonderful, drowsy state, that state akin to sleep, where conscious thought begins to wane and the body feels heavy and relaxed. This is the magical state, the fertile ground. While in this drowsy, languid condition, begin to feel the reality of your imagined scene. Don't just visualize, feel. Feel the joy, the relief, the gratitude, the satisfaction of your wish already being a present reality. Let this feeling permeate your entire being. This is the lullaby of fulfillment. Repeat the scene gently in your mind, not with effort, but like a tender caress. Dwell in the feeling of its reality. Feel it again and again, allowing yourself to be completely absorbed by it. Let the feeling become so natural, so real, that it feels as if it is already done. Let the feeling of the wish fulfilled be the very last sensation, the very last thought that you experience as you gently, effortlessly drift into the deep, blessed sleep. You are not trying to stay awake, you are simply allowing the feeling of the fulfilled wish to carry you into sleep. Let it be the emotional atmosphere in which you fall asleep. Step 4. The trusting release. Once you have impregnated your subconscious with the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and you have gently drifted into sleep from that state, your work is done. You have planted the seed. You have given your command to the infinite. Do not dig up the seed in the morning to see if it has sprouted. Do not worry about how it will come to pass. Your faith, your trust, your unwavering knowing that the law is immutable, is vital. The subconscious, being the creative medium, will now set about to arrange the circumstances, to open the doors, to inspire the actions, to bring forth the people, to orchestrate the events that will inevitably lead to the externalization of your assumed state. Step 5. Daily recommitment, the consistent offering. This is not a one-time magical act. This is a consistent, daily practice. Every night before sleep, return to your chosen scene, or if a desire feels fully assumed, move to another. It is through this consistent, nightly offering of the wish fulfilled, especially in that drowsy state, that you continually impress upon the subconscious the reality of your desired life. It is like watering a garden every day. This practice rewires your inner landscape. It transforms your default state from one of lack and striving to one of fulfillment and creative anticipation. It teaches you, experientially, that you are the operant power, the architect of your own reality. These 5 steps, simple yet profound, are your pathway to conscious creation. They are your divine ritual, performed each night, transforming your moments before sleep into the most powerful moments of your life. My friend, to integrate this law into your daily life is to undergo a profound metamorphosis. It is to move from being a victim of circumstance to being the master of your inner world, and therefore, of your outer world. The old mindset dictated that your feelings and reactions were determined by what happened outside of you. A good day meant feeling good, a bad day meant feeling bad. You were a boat adrift, subject to the winds and tides of external events. The new mindset, born of this understanding, is fundamentally different. You know with an unwavering certainty that your outer world is merely reflecting your inner state. Therefore, you are no longer reacting to shadows. You are no longer attempting to change the reflection in the mirror. You are changing the image within yourself. This means that even amidst apparent challenges or delays, you maintain the internal feeling of your wish fulfilled. You do not deny what your senses tell you, but you know that what your senses report is merely the lingering shadow of a past state, not the present reality you are now creating. You live from the end. You walk in the consciousness of the wish already granted. When something happens that seems to contradict your desired state, you don't allow it to derail you. Instead, you gently remind yourself, this is merely a reflection of a past assumption. My current assumption, made before sleep, is already unfolding. You return in your mind to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You affirm, silently within yourself, I am the person who has this already. This conscious practice brings with it an immense sense of peace. The frantic striving ceases, the desperate chasing ends, for you know deep within your being that the universe is working on your behalf. All you need to do is plant the seed of the desired state, feel its reality, and then rest in the certainty of its unfolding. You become less reactive and more responsive. You find yourself inspired to take actions that align with your desired state, but these actions flow from a place of peace and knowing, not from fear or desperation. Doors open, opportunities arise, people appear, all perfectly orchestrated to manifest the state you have assumed. This integration transforms not just your specific desires, but your very way of being. You become a living embodiment of the truth that imagination creates reality. You walk with a quiet confidence, an inner serenity, knowing that your world is a malleable clay in your hands, ready to be shaped by the power of your divine imagination, especially when you consciously wield that power in the sacred moments before you cross the threshold into sleep. You are no longer seeking, you are receiving. You are no longer striving, you are being. You have discovered the secret of life. You have awakened to your true identity as the creative power of God. And with that awakening comes a profound sense of freedom, a deep and abiding peace, and an unshakable mastery over your personal universe. Now, my dear listener, I invite you, I challenge you. For the next 7 nights, commit to this sacred ritual. Choose one desire that truly stirs your soul, one clear, distinct wish that, if fulfilled, would bring you immense joy and relief. And each night, as you prepare for sleep, prepare the temple of your mind, release the day's concerns, then, conscious, construct that scene, that vivid sensory experience that implies the fulfillment of your wish. Enter that beautiful, drowsy state, and in that state, with all your being, feel the reality of your wish fulfilled. Dwell in that feeling. Let it be the last impression, the final feeling, the very atmosphere in which you gently, effortlessly drift into sleep. Repeat this process every night. Do not look for external proof immediately. Do not question the how. Simply trust the immutable law. Trust in the creative power that resides within you. Trust that what you impress upon the subconscious in that fertile moment before sleep must, by divine decree, externalize itself in your world. Watch with wonder and awe as your outer world begins to conform to your inner reality. Observe how circumstances begin to shift, how unexpected doors open, how the perfect bridges of incidents are built to carry you to your desired state. This is not magic, my friend. This is the precise, unfailing operation of the law. This is you, the awakened creator, wielding your divine power. Embrace this nightly ritual. Make it the most important appointment of your day. For in those precious moments before sleep, you are not merely resting, you are creating. You are not merely drifting, you are designing. You are not merely dreaming, you are becoming. And so, as you prepare tonight, and every night to cross the threshold into the deep, remember who you truly are. The awakened I am, the operant power, the creative force of the universe, shaping your world with the beautiful, powerful, imaginative feeling of the wish fulfilled. Now let us go into the silence,